Welcome back to Campus Countdown. I'm your host, Emily Sturge, and today we'll be discussing the Biden administration's student loan cancellation plan and talking to current college students about how they'll be affected by it. On August 24th, 2022, President Biden announced via Twitter that in keeping with his campaign promise, the Biden administration's student loan debt plan will cancel up to $10,000 for students and up to $20,000 to students who went to college on Pell Grants. Cancellation applies to those earning less than $125,000 per year. According to a White House fact sheet, relief will be provided to up to 43 million borrowers, including canceling the full remaining balance for roughly 20 million borrowers. As a current college student, I feel particularly attacked by this policy. I'm currently a sophomore at the University of Florida. I made the fiscally responsible decision to attend the University of Florida purposefully so I wouldn't have to take out student loans. I turned down admission to my dream school because it was out of state and it would have caused me to take out student loans in order to afford tuition. I made the logical decision based on my financial circumstances, and I find it extremely unfair that other students do not have this same mindset when choosing a college or degree. Canceling student debt is a slap in the face to students like me who made logical financial decisions. It's a slap in the face to every family who sacrificed to save for college and every graduate who worked through college and paid their debt, and to those who chose not to go to college at all. Responsible Americans, many of whom don't even hold college degrees themselves, are left standing there holding the bill for students who took out student loans. Our first guest, Lena Branch, is a current college student who has student loans, but disagrees with the Biden administration's student loan cancellation plan. Here she is to tell her story.
Hi, my name is Lena Branch and I am a junior at the University of Iowa. I'm going to be talking about Biden's student loan relief plan. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're going to be asking everyday Americans who have maybe paid off their student loans or chose to not go to college and go to trade school instead, so that way they did not incur loans, and now we're going to be asking them to pay for other students' educations. I personally chose the University of Iowa because it was where I received the most scholarships from doing well in high school, and I would have the lowest amount of loans. I believe in personal responsibility, and I knew that I was going to be able to pay back those loans, but the choice to take out those loans was mine and mine alone. I think it's ridiculous that these students want to pick whatever college they want, and they want to take out as many loans as possible, and they expect the government to pay for it. I also chose to pursue business as a degree because I knew I'd be able to find a job after graduation, and I think it would be ridiculous that we're asking everyday Americans to pay for students' gender studies degrees when we know that they're not going to be able to get a job after graduation. So I think that the Biden student loan forgiveness plan is absolutely preposterous, and it should not be on everyday Americans to pay for student loans in which they did not incur.
Our second guest, Kelsey Whiting, made her college decision based on not wanting to feel the burden of student loans. After applying to many schools, Whiting chose the university that offered her the most in scholarships so she didn't have to take out student loans. Here she is to tell her story.
Hey Campus Reform, my name is Kelsey Whiting and I am a sophomore at Rice University in Houston, Texas. Now, the college application process for me was incredibly stressful. I applied to 23 different schools, and if I'm being honest, Rice wasn't even in the top 10. I had my list of dream schools that I really wanted to get into, but when I got my acceptance letters and the financial aid package, I realized that those schools just weren't in the cards for me. I needed to choose a school that gave me a financial aid package that would allow me to go to school without having to take out a student loan. And that's exactly what I did. I chose to not have the burden of paying back a student loan hanging over my head throughout my 4 years at the university. That's why I feel that student loan forgiveness is incredibly unfair. I didn't make the decision for other people to take out loans, so I shouldn't be faced with the burden of having to pay those back. I'm very happy with the decision that I made to go to a school that offered me a strong financial aid package over taking out a student loan and going to my dream school. It's definitely going to put me in a better place for my future, and I'm excited to see what that holds.
Our third guest, Noelle Fitchit, is a current college student who has student loans she has to pay back, but disagrees with the Biden administration's student loan cancellation plan. Here she is to tell her story.
Hi, my name is Noelle Fitchit. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I'm now attending Texas A&M University for my Master's of Science in Economics. And I'm highly disappointed in the Biden administration because I feel like if they truly cared about Generation Z, if they truly cared about those who are suffering with crippling debt, then they would do things to decrease the astronomically high interest rate. They would do things to encourage financial literacy, to encourage students not to take out hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans, that they would make smart financial decisions, but they aren't doing that. They aren't taking any steps to actually helping citizens make informed decisions or helping them decrease the crippling high interest rate that plagues our student loans. I think it's highly performative, and it's honestly just trying to get young people to vote for him again or vote for Democrats in the primaries. And that's deeply concerning. Another thing that concerns me is I wish that the administration or that the government would stop incentivizing students to take out astronomically high amounts of loans, that they would encourage things that our public schools would encourage things such as trade schools or explain to students the different options that they have. But that's not something that we see. And I think that just completely erasing student loans is going to disproportionately affect our economy. It's going to impact people who decided not to take out loans and decided to work a full-time job. Meanwhile, they were going to school. I don't think that it's fair either to have someone who is a plumber or someone who learned a trade pay for my master's education. And most people who took out loans are people who went to medical school, who went to law school, who are pursuing master's degrees. So I think that that's something that the Biden administration has failed at, and something that's disproportionately going to affect people who did not ask to pay for other people's loans. So
that wraps up this week's edition of Campus Countdown. Visit campusreform.org to check out our latest stories. Remember to like and subscribe here on YouTube. You can also follow us over on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Campus Reform. I'm Emily Sturge. Thanks for watching Campus Countdown.